Hey everybody, it's Matt from Junior Horror Movies, and welcome to another Top 10 Tuesday. Finally getting another video out for you guys, so apologize for the long delay. So, I was looking through my collection, and I thought, what could we do? What could we do? So I thought, werewolves. Werewolves always have so many different movies out there, and everyone loves pretty much the same ones, Howling, American Werewolf in London, Dog Soldiers, list goes on. So I decided, let me go through my collection and figure out what are other werewolf films that could use some love. So I thought, okay, let's go through. And without further ado, I'm doing my top 10 other werewolf films to own in your collection. Now you're probably going to think, well, where's Bad Moon? Or Blood Moon? No, it's Bad Moon. Bad Moon. That's a different one. Or where is Dog Soldiers? Those are other werewolves. Those are like another top 10. But these are another top 10 that should be well and looked at, because these are films that no one really knows. Or if you do know, you do. So without further ado, my top 10 other werewolf films to own in your collection. Alright, number 10. I think this was a Sci-Fi Channel flick. I'm not exactly sure. Or maybe it was aired on TV. Called Never Cry Werewolf. Alright, this movie actually was decent. Think of it as Fright Night, but with a werewolf instead of a vampire. Kevin Sorbo plays a hunter, and he's like at a army navalty store to sign autographs and whatnot. So of course they hire him to hunt the werewolf. Actually, it wasn't bad of a film. I found it kind of an entertaining and again, straight up werewolf film, but in the vein of Fright Night. So okay, it wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was good. So I definitely would recommend checking out that film. Let me put that down here. Number 9. This one was a blind buy for me. I thought it was actually really good. The storyline was pretty cool. And that is called Crying Wolf. Crying Wolf is about this town who's actually, all inhabitants are werewolves. A woman who happens to be, visiting gets murdered. Now people are investigating. Reporters are coming in onto this secluded town, and these people are like, no. We want our seclusion. We like where it's going on, and there's like a war between different groups. The werewolves are pretty cool. It's got some good storyline to it. I recommend checking out Crying Wolf. It's a pretty cool little flick. Number 8. Now this movie gets a lot of hate. I actually liked it. It's better than some of other Wes Craven films, if you know exactly what I'm talking about. And that it calls is Cursed. Now, I found this way better than My Soul to Take. It was a different kind of cool storyline with Cursed, but with the whole brother and sister turning into werewolves and how they had to deal with it. So, I liked it. I thought the werewolf looked pretty cool. How it walked on its 2 hind legs and everything. Some cool kills. But again, I liked it. Again, way better than My Soul to Take. And also, too, this is the unrated. This is the only way to get the unrated. The Blu-ray right now is cut. A lot of the blood is missing. Some of the kills are different. So, if you want an unrated, uncut version, you have to go with the DVD. So, there you go. Number 6. Man. Is called, I found this another blind buy. That's called Blood Moon. This one is a Western werewolf film. I did as a blind buy back when I found it at Walmart. And it was actually, surprisingly, I was good at. This was good. Pretty much a bunch of, there were some gunslingers, people traveling. They end up in this weird saloon by another bunch of gunmen. There's a shootout. And of course, this werewolf comes along and starts picking off people one at a time. And of course, it takes place in the Wild West, so certain things are a little hard to come by, like silver and special weaponry. So it was actually surprisingly good. Got some good kills. The werewolf looked pretty cool. They don't even call it a werewolf in this movie. They call it a skinwalker. Now it's supposedly with Native American lore, but it's still a werewolf. But still pretty cool. Almost knocked the border. Number 6, I saw the trailer way back, and how crazy this looked. The werewolf looked awesome. Very gory, insanely bizarre, and that is a werewolf in a woman's prison. So if you're familiar with women prison films, you have this, but you're also going to have a nasty werewolf running amok in this prison cell. As you can see right there, that's what the werewolf kind of looks like, all the blood and guts. Couple work together, and they get attacked by a werewolf. She gets bit. The husband gets killed. She gets sent to this weird woman's prison where it's poorly run down. The owner is like, having these women have lesbian scenarios so he can make money and this and that. They trade for money and cigarettes and shit like that. Well, of course, one of the girls now is mutating into a werewolf. Oh, this movie is bloody gory fun. If you've never seen this one, definitely check it out. It's very low budget, but it's crazy insane. A lot of kills, and I mean a lot. The blood runs flowing through this. So yeah, a werewolf in a woman's prison. Check it out. Number 5. Another one that had the same title, and that's called Blood Moon. But this Blood Moon is different. Think of this movie as a reversed werewolf film. Yes. It's about a freak show coming into town. This girl happens to be the hairy girl. She's all furry on her. She looks like a werewolf, pretty much. This one guy starts falling for her, and he starts injecting her with this serum to make her lose her hair so she can become normal. Well, pretty much she starts becoming more feral and then also looking normal. So instead of turning into a werewolf, she's turning into a normal person, but having wolf-like tendencies and going after people. It's got Tim Curry in it and Grace Jones. So I remember Mood 616 recommended this one, so I definitely checked it out and I liked it a lot. So if you've never seen Blood Moon, check this version out too. Again, a reversed werewolf film. That's the way you gotta look at it. Number 4 is an oldie. Well, not that old, but it's from 1971. It's an old Spanish film by Paul Nashley, and that's called The Werewolf's Shadow. This one is kind of hard to find. It's an old Anchor Bay release. That's one reason. I know a lot of them are getting put out on Blu-ray, so hopefully maybe Scream Factory or someone will start putting this out. Maybe we'll get a third Paul Nashley collection, and this will be on it. It's another werewolf film. It goes by the other titles called The Werewolf versus a Vampire Woman, Blood Moon, there's another one, and Night of the Walpurgis. Yeah, I understand on that one. But again, so it's Paul Nashley, so you got from the 70s. Werewolf looks pretty cool and badass. And also stars Paul Nashley. He plays a character who turns into a werewolf. He's pretty much fighting a vampire queen. It's got a lot of lesbianism into it, so it's a fun flick, guys. So you've never seen a Spanish film by Paul Nashley, I recommend going after the other Paul Nashley films and then maybe picking this one up, because this one is a lot of fun. If I remember correctly, it has English subs, and I don't know if it has English dubs, but don't remember what it says on here. Sometimes they have them in Spanish, sometimes they have them don't. But anyway, I forgot. So yeah, Werewolf Shadow, some people will definitely know for sure, but definitely if you find it, grab it. There's a bunch of still Paul Nashley films that are not put out yet on Blue or in the collections, and they should. I know Loreley's Grasp was put out in a double feature. That's a good one too. Number 4 was put out by Unearthed Films. This one was surprisingly good. I didn't know anything about it. The cover art looks sick, and that is Sheepskin. Sheepskin is about a group of people who kidnap this gentleman. They think he is a werewolf, so they beat him and they torture him to say, hey, you're a werewolf, we want you to transform, and we need to kill you because I think one of the kidnappers, their wife or their sister got mauled to death by a beast, and they figure out it's a werewolf. So these people are all inside this warehouse with this one man beating the piss out of him to say, transform, you're a werewolf. Is he a werewolf? Is he not a werewolf? It's a great film. The artwork is insanely good. So definitely recommend checking out Sheepskin. Great little werewolf flick. It is a werewolf flick. Number 3. This was a surprise. I remember watching this back in VHS. Loved it. Forgot all about it. I'm like, oh yeah, there's a DVD out there. I know there's a Blu-ray. It's a burn-on-demand blue. But I've always grabbed this DVD. And that is Big Bad Wolf. Big Bad Wolf is about the stepdad who comes home from a hunting trip. And he's changed. He is now more kind of aggressive. He is actually a werewolf. So his stepson, his friends get together to, they were at a party at a cabin. This creature attacks a bunch of them, kills them off. So he wants revenge on what this werewolf did. There's also trying to figure out who the werewolf is, and they kind of figure out who, and they got to take him down. It's actually a really good flick. I remember there's a werewolf rap in this. that was just funny as hell. The werewolf does talk. He's pretty badass. Got a good kill, some good blood to it. So definitely highly recommend checking out the Big Bad Wolf. It's a fun little flick for sure. I like the way the werewolf looked. If you can see that there. So yeah, Big Bad Wolf. That's at number 3. Number 2. This was from a Kickstarter. I'm glad I supported it. This movie was insanely good. The werewolves looked fantastic. Bone Hill Road. Bone Hill Road pretty much is a daughter and mother escaping a abusive relationship. This guy's, I think it was her husband or boyfriend, whatever, kept beating them. They said, enough. Beat the piss out of them, get in the car, and they take off. Well, they get into a car accident because they think they see something. Come to find out they're attacked by a werewolf. So they run and hide, and of course they find this house with a bunch of people tied up. Come to find out there is a strange psychopath living in this home where he's kidnapped these women, and now he's got more people to kidnap and torture. While outside are the werewolves, and they're hungry. And this movie is all practical effects. Todd Sheets did this, and wow, I was actually blown away how great this movie was. If I don't know if you can get another copy out there, but if you can, get this film. This film is gorgeous. All practical effects, so there's no CGI used. A lot of blood. Some cool twists to it. So yeah, definitely check out Bone Hill Road at number 2. Number 1. I really enjoyed this one. I think this is a British horror film, or close to it, or close to whatever out there, and that is called Howl. Howl is about a bunch of people on a train, and they're going along, the train stalls, conductor goes out and goes missing. While these people are all trapped, or figure out, was it a train or was it like a subway car? No, it was a train. So, the train stops, these people are all stuck, and they're trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. Well, some of them are starting to get murdered, and they come to find out these beast-like creatures come out, and they actually are werewolves. They're not your typical werewolf, which I thought was pretty cool. They're not all covered in fur. They don't look exactly like a wolf, but they do. Think of it as like a mid-transformation of a human to a werewolf. Less fur, but mostly all skin. But you got that big snout. You got all that to it. That's what you have, and that's what was actually really good. Some good gore to it as well. So, a lot of good body count. So, I definitely highly recommend checking out Howl. I was really surprised by this film. Alright, guys. That is my top 10 other werewolf films to own in your collection. So, yeah, there's other films out there that are outstanding. I could do an actual top 10 of just top 10 werewolf films if you want for my next one, because these are the ones that should show more love, because a lot of people probably don't know about them, or they're hard to get, or they're probably thinking, maybe I could get it. I don't know. I don't see anybody talking about it, but definitely recommend these films. So thanks, guys, for watching. I hope you enjoyed this list. Please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. All right, guys, have yourself a good one. Peace.